everyone, and welcome to our weekly dream breakdown. This first one that I am going to cover today, I'm going to give you some information on it. I'm going to read the dream and then break down a few of the symbols, hoping that this will help you as you start to break down the dreams that you're having. This dream, it's good if you can title your dreams. That's helpful if you can title your dreams when you're looking back on them. I'm not always the best at this. This one I was pretty good. So I actually had this dream on April 5th, 2019. So I date them. And this is before my big epiphany of dreaming that happened in 2020. And it shows that just dreams have really been a part of my life, even before the explosion in my spirit life. So I named this one Devastating Tornado and the Beautiful Elevator. And I'm going to read it now, and then we'll break it down. I'll try to slow my roll when it comes to reading. I can go fast sometimes. Okay. I'm with a man I don't recognize. He seems familiar in the dream, like a family acquaintance. I see and fearfully point out the tornado not far from us. It's a terrifyingly fast-moving and vicious one, and my companion and I start running to get into a car. But then I realize the car will only get sucked up in the path of the tornado, so we start running past the car to tall buildings behind. But they are too far away, and I realize I'd rather take my chances and run back to the building we came from, because I want to be with Aaron and Eli no matter what happens. Now, just for those who know, Aaron is my late husband. In 2019, of course, he was still with me, and Eli was our only child at that time. We hadn't had our other two boys yet. I'll break that down for you soon. Okay, so no matter what happens. And the feeling was that if I headed that direction, I was headed towards the tornado, and it would likely kill me before I even reached the building and my family. On our way back, suddenly I am alone, no longer with my companion, and the tornado has already devastated everyone on the street. The aftermath is horrifying, and I watch a man pulling along a woman by her feet, whose body has been cartoonishly elongated, her legs unnaturally long, and her torso is somewhat elongated, but from her chest up is normal. Her eyes aren't open. Then I see a woman who has the fetus ripped from her belly during the tornado. There is a gash in her belly and a large baby that is on her legs, and the mother's total body is convulsing, yet she is fighting the convulsions to reach to her baby and hold it. I am then in the original building, trying to get up to the 6th floor, trying to get to Aaron and Eli. And I can't get up there, no matter how many stairs I take, or if I try to take the service elevator. Nothing works. Then I found another elevator. It's dark mahogany wood with beautifully carved roots, maybe, or just decorative lines. I can't remember, except for it was stunning. There is a kind black gentleman working on the elevator, and he lets me inside. It is a tiny elevator. Only barely fits he and I. He takes me up past the chaos to the 6th floor, and I am so grateful. I am now on the 6th floor, and I finally find Eli, and I take his hand, and together we start looking for Aaron, who is nowhere in sight. I'm telling Eli that we both need to scream, "Daddy," or "Aaron," so he can hear us and find us. This is probably one of the most powerful dreams I've ever had. It is what I call a destiny dream. And it's also a dream that was clearly for me, and I can explain that here in just a moment. But it was also for humanity as a whole. It has so much meaning for anyone that cares to listen, has ears to hear per se. And I'm going to break down some of, I remember this dream in crystal clarity. It was movie-like. I remember the horror I felt at looking at the destruction. It was very impactful, very brightly colored. In future dreams, we'll talk about what that means. But here's some key symbols I want to point out. Okay, we're going to talk about the familiar man at the beginning, the tornado and what that means, what a car can mean, tall buildings, other building, the one I end up in, the woman that was stretched with eyes not open, the woman that was reaching for her fetus, the black man, the small elevator, and then we'll break down my son Eli and Aaron, my late husband, and what that meant. Okay. All right, so let's talk about the familiar man that felt almost like family. That man represented the old me facing this destruction that I could see coming my way. Okay, now a tornado can have many meanings, but for this specific dream, it was like trials and calamity. As you can tell, as you've heard the whole dream now, trials and calamity were coming in very vicious ones. Okay, and then the car, in this instance, again, so many meanings can apply, but in this instance, this car was referring to my own strength, running into myself and running away from the problem. Okay, so that was one choice I had. I could pull in from the coming destruction, get fearful, and run away. But as the dream showed, all that would do was going to suck me into the destruction. So it really wasn't an answer. Okay. Next answer was to run to the tall buildings behind the car. Well, that is business. Okay. I could run into work. I could become a workaholic. I could just work myself into the ground and hope the tornado doesn't hurt me. Okay. But I realize again, that isn't the right answer for my life or my family. So instead, I decide to take the risk and run towards my family and towards my future. We'll talk about that for a minute. And I know that by doing that, it could kill me. This calamity I'm going directly through the path of this calamity and it could kill me. I am taking a risk by doing this, but I decide it's a worthy risk. Okay. Then the woman stretched. So get this in the dream, once I make that decision to go towards my future, go towards my family, the destruction is over. The big, looming, catastrophic event is done. It doesn't touch me after I make that decision. That's key. It did, however, touch many people around me, and that's what we're going to look at right here. So the woman that was stretched, cartoonishly stretched, okay, that is self-effort. Like, humanity, when we are just, you feel this, we've all done it, like we are just doing everything we can. We are stretching ourselves thin. Do you see the connection? Like the symbolism there, we're stretching ourselves thin. Her eyes are closed. So on a spiritual level, she cannot see. She's blind to anything other than what's physically in front of her, and she's just stretching herself thin. Okay. Then the next one, the woman that was like convulsing and trying to stretch and stop the convulsions, grab the fetus that had been ripped from her in this catastrophe, okay? That is where we grow something inside of us, like a baby. We are growing a desire for something. We're growing a business. We're growing a relationship. Apply whatever happens in your life, okay? But it's of our own effort. And so this catastrophe has the ability to take it away, to rip it away from you. And that's awful. And we see it happen in life where it's just your destiny, your goals, everything's just ripped from you, and you're trying so hard to grab a hold of it again. Do you see the symbolism there? Okay. Then reading, we got that. Okay, the black. So I get inside. There's chaos even in this building where I'm going for my future, going for my family, and I can't find the right way to it at first. I'm trying different things and it's not working. Like, it has happened really in my life, okay? And then I find it, like at the back of the room, I find that small elevator and I find that beautiful, he was like old black man, and it lifts me up out of the chaos, right? It gives me an advantage. It just lifts me up 6 floors. So this black man, in dream language, sometimes what it can represent is it depends on your own skin color, really. So I am Caucasian, I'm white. So the black man to me is something unknown. Vice versa, if you're black and you see a white person in your dream, that can be something unknown to you or unfamiliar. So for me, this is like the dream language, right? It was still coming. This is 2019. I didn't have a I didn't even know to understand a language. I just knew this was a powerful dream, and I wrote it in my journal. So dreams is who he represented to me, something unknown. And by entering into these dreams, and if you notice, that beautiful elevator was only big enough for the two of us, only big enough for my destiny, right? So I get into my dreams, and my dreams lift me up above the chaos and 6 floors up, right? And it has done that, guys. Dreams, interpreting my dreams, getting an understanding for how it's guiding me and teaching me, 100% lifted me up above the chaos that this world hands us, okay? Then I get to the top, right? Son, husband, Eli, Aaron. Here's what that represents. Oftentimes, your children in a dream represent your future. So dreams lift me up to above the chaos, and I take a hold of my future. I take his hand, right? I take a hold of my future, and I start looking for my family. I say, okay, let's find Daddy. Let's find Aaron. I am looking for my family now. Bringing my future, connecting it to my family, and boom, that's the end of the dream. And the reason why this can be used universally is, look at the language that I just shared with you. We have all faced every single one of those decisions. We have all had these trials, these tornadoes hit our life. And what I'm sharing with you today is the dreams hold keys to your specific life story, your specific chaos, your specific elevator above that chaos to your destiny. Do you see how exciting this is? I cannot wait to get into the community. I want you to put your comments in there. Let me know what you think about this dream. Let me know how this dream can apply to you, and let me know what questions you have. And I look forward to seeing you all next week for the next dream.